I babysat for $500 cash. I'll never do it again. I almost didn't take the job. Something about the ad felt off. Looking for responsible sitter, 1 night only, good pay, cash, must follow instructions. That was it. No details about the kid, no address, nothing about the hours. Just a burn a Gmail account to reply to. I was broke enough to overlook all that. My rent was due in 3 days, and my fridge was down to half a jar of pickles and an expired yogurt. So I sent a message, figuring I wouldn't get a reply. I got one back in less than an hour. Thank you for reaching out. The job is simple. Watch our son, Matthew, from 7 p.m. midnight. $500 cash. Please do not let him look into mirrors. Please do not answer the door if someone knocks and claims to be us. Address attached. I stared at the screen, rereading the message. No mirrors. Don't open the door. Those weren't instructions. Those were warnings. But again, $500. $500 for 5 hours of sitting on a couch while a kid sleeps? I could ignore the creepiness for that. The house was out in the suburbs, tucked away at the end of a cul-de-sac with no streetlights. Every house on the street was dark except theirs, a faint yellow glow behind heavy curtains. The parents greeted me at the door. They looked normal, almost aggressively normal, like the kind of people you'd see in stock photos. Mom in a cardigan, Dad in khakis, both smiling too wide. "We're so glad you could make it," the mom said, ushering me inside. "Matthew's upstairs, already in his room." I nodded, clutching my backpack strap. "Any, allergies? Bedtime routine?" The dad cut me off. "The instructions in the email are the most important. Don't let him near mirrors. Don't answer the door." "Right," I said, trying to sound casual. "Can I ask, why?" The mom's smile faltered for half a second, but she recovered fast. "Just follow them. We'll be back at midnight. $500 cash, like we promised." Before I could press further, they slipped out the door. The lock clicked. The house felt wrong once they left. Too quiet. Not the cozy, suburban quiet where you can hear the hum of a fridge or a distant dog bark. This was sterile, like the silence in an empty hospital wing. I wandered through the downstairs. Every reflective surface was either missing or covered. The bathroom mirror gone, the TV screen draped with a sheet, even the glass in the picture frames replaced with paper. The air prickled against my skin. I checked on the kid. Matthew was sitting cross-legged on his bed, staring at me when I opened the door. He looked about 8. Blonde hair, pale skin, dark circles under his eyes like he hadn't slept in days. "Hi," I said, forcing a smile. "I'm your babysitter." He didn't answer, just blinked at me slowly, then asked, "Do you know which ones are real?" My stomach dropped. "What do you mean?" "The people," he said. His voice was flat, like he was reciting something. "Sometimes they're not them. Sometimes they're copies." I laughed nervously. That's creepy. Where'd you hear that?" He tilted his head bird-like. "From the other Matthew." I swallowed. "The other Matthew?" He pointed toward the darkened window. "He comes when the glass is open." I pulled the curtains shut tighter. The first knock came around 8:30. 3 slow raps on the front door. I froze on the couch, my phone in hand. The instructions screamed in my head. "Don't answer the door." Another knock, louder this time. "Hey," a man's voice called, muffled through the wood. "It's us. We forgot something inside." The parents. My pulse thudded in my ears. It sounded like the dad, but flatter, like someone replaying a recording through a bad speaker. I crept closer, careful not to touch the knob. "We just need to come in for a second," the voice said. Behind me I heard movement on the stairs. Matthew was standing halfway down, clutching the railing, staring at the door with wide eyes. "That's not them," he whispered. The knocking stopped. The hours dragged. Every time I thought the house was quiet again, something else happened. 9:15. I heard footsteps pacing the upstairs hallway, heavy, deliberate. Except Matthew was sitting on the floor next to me, coloring with broken crayons. 9:47. The TV, even with a sheet over it, flickered to life with static. I yanked the plug from the wall. It kept flickering for a full 10 seconds before finally going black. 10:22. Another knock. This time the mom's voice. "Please, he's dangerous. Let us in before it's too late." Matthew started crying, covering his ears. I didn't open the door. At 11:00, I heard whispering. Not from the door this time. From upstairs. I crept up, leaving Matthew on the couch with my phone flashlight. The whispers grew louder as I reached his bedroom. The door was cracked open. Inside, the moonlight from the window illuminated a figure sitting on the bed. Matthew. Except I'd left him downstairs. This Matthew looked identical, but wrong. The way a wax figure almost looks real until you see the eyes. His lips moved, whispering to himself, words I couldn't quite make out. Then he snapped his head toward me. I slammed the door shut and bolted down the stairs. The real Matthew was exactly where I'd left him. He looked up at me with tears streaking his face. "You saw him," he said. I didn't answer. 11:40. The knocking came again. Both voices this time, the mom and dad in perfect unison. "Let us in." The door rattled like they were trying to break it down. Matthew was shaking, curled against me on the couch. "Don't," he begged. "If you let them in, they'll take you instead." The pounding grew violent, wood splintering. I dragged Matthew with me into the kitchen, searching for a back exit. That's when I noticed the one uncovered reflective surface left in the house, the oven door. And in it, I saw myself. Except my reflection wasn't moving the same way I was. I staggered back, nearly dropping Matthew. The other me smiled, wide and wrong, teeth too many for a human mouth. The reflection pressed its palm against the glass from the inside. A hairline crack snaked across the oven door. Midnight couldn't come fast enough. I huddled in the kitchen with Matthew, the pounding from the front door shaking the walls, the whispering upstairs turning into full-on giggles, and my reflection grinning from the oven, cracks spiderwebbing wider with every second. I thought I was going to break. Then the noise stopped, all at once. The clock on the microwave blinked 12:40 a.m. The front door swung open. The parents walked in, smiling, normal again. "You did well," the mom said. She handed me an envelope of cash. My hands shook as I took it. What the hell is wrong with this house? With him? I pointed at Matthew, who clung to my leg. The dad crouched down, prying the boy off me. "He's not our son," he said simply. My mouth went dry. "What?" "We lost Matthew years ago," the mom said. "But things still come through. Things that look like him. Things that look like us. We can't get rid of them, only contain them." They each took one of Matthew's hands. He didn't fight, just looked back at me with hollow eyes. "You did your job," the dad said. "You kept him from escaping. That's all we needed." And before I could say a word, they led him upstairs. The door slammed shut behind them. I stumbled outside, clutching the envelope, the night air biting my lungs. When I got home, I dumped the cash onto my kitchen table. Every bill was crisp, perfect. Except when I flipped them over, the faces weren't of presidents. They were of me, smiling too wide, with too many teeth.